this week, media freedom and the growing threats to it. I've got with me Mondli Makanya, the former editor of the Sunday Times and recently elected chair of SANEF. So Mondli, there's the Protection of Information Bill, there's the idea of the Media Tribunal, and there's this newspaper which is being started which appears to have some sort of links to the ruling party. Is there a crisis emerging for the media here?
Well, there's certainly some dark clouds gathering over us at the moment. You have, for instance, the Protection of Information Bill, which will seriously restrict the media's ability to do its job. It will seriously hamper investigative journalism. And then obviously now the Media Tribunal idea, which was mooted shortly before Polokwane. It was passed as a resolution in Polokwane, but the ANC hasn't really moved very far on it. Now it's very firmly on the agenda. And we believe that it is driven by the recent investigative journalism that the media has been doing. There have been quite a number of exposés that have been there in the past, and which has now increased the militancy within the ANC. Now, what the Media Tribunal will do, you'll actually have a statutory body overseeing the workings of the media, and it would obviously be very unconstitutional, and it's something that I think that will actually seriously hamper us and will spell the beginning of the end of free media in South Africa.
And the claim that we are being hysterical about this bill and that actually it's just normal and that sort of thing. I mean, how does it compare to legislation in other free societies?
Well, what this bill does, what the Protection of Information Bill does, is that it gives wide-ranging powers to the Minister of Intelligence to classify any document whatsoever. It gives a very broad definition of national security and something called the national interest. And anybody who is in power can basically just use those wide-ranging terms to determine that this is information that the media should not have access to. We as the media are not in principle opposed to there being a system of classification of information. The state must have secrets. I mean, otherwise, we'd be living in an anarchic society. But what we want is a properly regulated system of how you go about classifying documents, a system that actually that errs on the side of openness rather than on the side of keeping secrets, keeping information away from the public.
And the Media Tribunal, I mean, this is really sort of North Korea territory, isn't it? I mean, you're going to have to account to the statutory body for reporting, and there's going to be enormous political pressure on that body to act.
See, what we have prided ourselves in as South Africans is that since 1994 we have had one of the freest media regimes in the world, and I think we line up against the best democracies on earth when it comes to media freedom. And it's actually allowed for us as a society to have robust conversation. It has allowed us to hold government to account. It has allowed the society to be a much richer society. What this will do is that we will have those 16 years wiped out in one fell swoop. And you will actually have the state having power over the information flow in the society. Now, there are already mechanisms in place in the form of the press ombudsman, the press council. These are mechanisms that enable the public to complain and to hold the media to account. And all media houses in South Africa actually respect the press ombudsman, the press council, who abide by his rulings. And the Sunday Times, which is the most powerful newspaper in this country, listens and abides by the rulings of the press council. But what you are getting from the ANC and from those in authority is that the press ombudsman, the press council are very weak, but they have not specified exactly what this weakness means. And what we've been saying to them is that we are very willing to engage and must show us where we can strengthen the self-regulatory mechanism to the benefit of the public, to the benefit of the industry, and to the benefit of the South African democracy.
Okay, so now SANEF's taken quite a strong view on this. What is SANEF doing going forward?
The South African National Editors Forum has taken a decision that we will embark on a huge campaign in opposition to this bill. It will be a very public campaign. We will be involving other stakeholders, other organizations which are in favor of a free democracy, and also we will also be engaging with the ANC and talking to them and saying this is where this has gone wrong. But the campaign will basically be aimed at winning the hearts and minds of the public and showing them exactly why this is wrong. And if should the bill go through, what we will be doing, obviously, we will be taking legal action. We will take this matter all the way to the Constitutional Court because we do believe that this bill is unconstitutional.
On that note, that's the political notebook for this week.